Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sunday here on BMBBH. And of course, I am Kev, and I am a black man. Yes, and I am not afraid to admit it due to the shaming campaigns that have a lot of you out there being afraid to admit it or wanting to separate yourself from the mentality. For some of you, I can't blame you, but the measures that are being taken by our people have has somewhat of a soft and cowardly look. So just want to dive into this for a second. But, of course, this is my perception and this is my perspective. And it is one that you do not have to agree with. But just know at the end of the day that I am interested in your perspective as well. That's why we have a chat uh, room. And moderator wrenches are active at all times, and these moderators over here on this channel are usually fair about um, the decision making. People are barely timed out. I mean, unless of course you're a spamming troll, then of course we have to get rid of you. But outside of that, they don't power stroke. We don't power stroke over here. So you will be respected as long as you are respectful. And that goes for any panelist that may step up on here as well. Same rules apply. Depending on who you are, of course, there is special leniency toward the habitual line steppers. I mean, we crew. So, I mean, I'm sure you understand that because you probably play favor to your crews and your cliques too. So, uh, yeah. So, in the consummate effort to continue to build the channel over here, um, yeah, we continue as the habitual line steppers offer you our different perspectives, especially uh, the uh, the breakdown of woman's perspective. They're pretty good about giving theirs, and so does Roger. I mean, if you know me, you very likely know Roger too. So, but for right now, you're going to receive Kev's perspective on why I would ask such a question and with the topic today. Why do I believe or have the audacity to ask the question, are black people too afraid to be black in 2021? It's always been a problem because of the fact that our rooted identity, as far as us as Americans, uh, pretty much was handed to us. So as we become more aware and more coherent to our environment, we seek answers because understand that in a system, the Western culture, that there are certain ways and certain standards that we abide by. So we won't sink into sink into what some of these other countries are doing, and a lot of those people, can't live in peace, and it's not like that over here. So um, we're at least lucky for that. But as far as our own identity, we cannot ever discount the history that comes with that, you know. And I understand, we're in the past. We shouldn't be perpetual victims all our lives, but I don't want to go into this can't like this whole thing about critical race theory. It is not my, at least not my desire to see critical race theory go away. I mean, it's not instilling a victimhood mentality. It is the fact that the race that perpetrated everything over here is extremely ashamed. That's why they did the slave movie narrative. They wanted to stop being reminded of who their great 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 grandparents were. But see, something strange has started to happen in the past few years, and really it's like an after effect. Um, in the past few years, maybe this has been going on for some decades now. I mean, you would have your uh, quote unquote Sambo archetype. I'm not gonna say Uncle Tom. You're gonna have, the guy that y'all call the COON, and we, you know, for the time period, like in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, they knew exactly who those guys were just by the way they carried themselves. Like in today's climate, you call somebody that, it's based on an agenda. So the lines are blurred. There are too many lines that are blurred in our community right now, and I find it strange that we will let some things go and then we'll hold on to others. Like, look, I'm finna explain it just like this. I am in no way a Trump supporter whatsoever. So, and this is something that we have to cut out. If you have any kind of complaints about the current president, it's okay. That doesn't mean that you are a Trump supporter. It doesn't mean that. And no, I'm not going to demonize your vote because you use your right to vote. Period. And that's just what it is. But uh, like I've seen our people who also who use their right to vote basically turn on our people because of it, because of a guy who was a proven racist. That's something that we let go. So we get caught up in the game of, instead of forward thinking for ourselves, and let's start planning what happens to the kids, since all of us adults and the younger adults are all screwed the fuck up. Instead of us discussing that, we're sitting over there arguing and fighting over politicians that, I mean, let's granted, they don't have to care about us, but their views are clear. They have made their views clear throughout the years. Just say that, I mean, I get it. Bernie Sanders, he's not black, so to speak. But if you're gonna throw Bernie away for a reparations comment, why did you throw Biden away for all the political decisions he's made over 40 to 50 years? But of course, Orange Man had to go. So I'm not going to find myself playing that game either, because I'm not for either one of the guys. It's just that it was really weird to me how black people turned on black. And of course, these little dumb feminists, black men, they only voted at 20%. It's like, I mean, so what? Why don't you ask those men why, and don't assume it's because they're buck dancing, soft shoeing sellouts, as y'all like to say. Because it's like this. And we do this little thing. We like to tap dance with people's characters. We'll accept it from some people, but we won't accept it from others. You should always want to do the right thing. So we can't excuse people like Biden. If and I get it. It doesn't, like, color doesn't matter when it comes to wrongdoing or gender. If a black man does something fucked up, hey, he's on his own. He's on his own. But I don't understand why we would go as far to tear each other apart over another group. Period. How does it feel to be used for something as superficial as a vote instead of planning for the future, at least for yourself? And I get it. The community is probably going to take a it's probably going to take a couple generations, I would say. So maybe it is the best thing for people to worry about themselves and those that they love, because so many people's wires seem to be crossed about this whole black thing. And it all comes from the fact that we did not identify with our original selves at first. Now that we have a lot of people that want to seek ways to identify as our original selves, it's coming out all weird. Because of, we're in a culture of WS. This is a WS culture, whether you like it or not, whether any of us like it or not. And because we were raised in it and we were kind of adept to it, we actually, when we became self-aware, some like I said, some of our, and what do y'all call this shit, vibrational frequencies. Some of our vibrations were higher than others. Some of us were much lower than others. So it's anywhere from just being self-aware to thinking that you're self-aware. You know, brothers taking pictures with real thick glasses on, uh, pointing their index finger to their forehead, trying to look smart, and think that make them look all deep and shit, and all Nubian and melanated, and yeah, my brother, my sister, stuff like that. Then on the other side of it, you got sisters like rubbing rocks together and shit, using words like yoni. So I'm in touch with my blackness and my magic, and it's like, let me think. I don't believe that's it. I don't think that rubbing rocks together is going to fix this. I don't think that putting your index finger to your forehead is going to have some kind of self validation to the consciousness, that kind of thing. And of course, I'm gonna go ahead and say this for you guys on the outskirts of the space, or the guys who believe that they are true manosphere. I'm not suggesting chaos. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a value system of some type. I don't believe that you should. I think that you should stop being lazy and seek those because deep down we all know what's right and wrong. We all know what hurts people. We all know what makes people happy. Uh, my thing is, I take a very neutral position in society, and it's like when I'm out in public, I'll just like I will say hi. Like I said, older black ladies, I will be courteous and nice to them. But for the most part, like younger folks, and I don't know, I have to be introduced to you through someone. It's like, like y'all do y'all thing. Like let's be quiet. Let's agree to disagree. Respect. At least I'll have basic respect. I don't do the whole attitude gaslighting personalities that a lot of you have out here. Not in particular talking about the audience. I mean, it may be one or two of you, but um, remember, Kev said he's not perfect. So, yeah. So why would I say that black people are afraid to be black? Why would I say that? Why would I say that? Put us in any situation. Put us in any situation. Like some broadcast way back, like weeks ago. I said that go in a room full of black people, or go in a room with your family members, and say the words black man. Just say black man in a sentence and try to say it a few times, and start to look at the people, and don't do it to annoy him. Just be kind of slick about it. Do it like every 30, 45 minutes, and look at the look on some of the people's faces in the room. Seriously. And then we use it as a selling point, the word black, so it's really cheapened at this time. Like we've faked it and virtue signaled it so much to the point where like that word has really lost its value as far as the identity of the race. You know, I I mean just I'll go ahead and clarify the reason why I use it. I use the word black because it's pretty clear when you say when I would say 99% of everyone says black men or has something direct toward black men. It's black men that they are talking about. So, um, not so like it's more calling this black men being brutally honest is more than a response. It should be a regular assertion because it's like, and I'll go ahead and say this: a lot of black men are really chickening out of being black men because of the adversity that we have to face because of the way that we are viewed as far as when we assert ourselves. Yeah, I'm also like I'm a black man, but I'm also Kev. You know that makes sense. I identify as a man named Kevin, and that's just what it is. And the context of that is I have my own personality. And since I am, uh, I wouldn't say black as far as a brown skinned American person of African descent, which some of us would like to call ADOS, foundational black American, you know, that's what I identify as. I identify as a black man because when you say black man, you know full well who you're talking about. There ain't no other thing. You know, some of y'all like to be all technical and conscious. You know, black is a crayon color. You know, you're not black. You're not black. I mean, I get that. I get that. Mr. Super Technical. Mrs. Super Tech. I mean, I don't hear black women saying it too much. But of course, you know, the assertion of, narratives such as black girl magic, black women, and all this other, a woman, a black woman, that if black women started saying that, then that would take those narratives completely out because then you can identify with it. But it's distressing to me when the brothers act like they don't want to identify with it. Like police, guys who do this whole police apologist thing. I mean, I don't care. I mean, what the law is. We do follow the law. Yes, of course we do. If you don't follow the law, you're going to end up in jail and maybe prison. And it's not smart. You can assert yourself as far as your voice, but tactically, is it smart? And I get that as well. And we have to look at the whole of a situation, not just the piece, not just little bits and pieces, but the sum of all those parts. I get that as well. And yes, a lot of people do bring a lot of bullshit on themselves, especially when we and other groups can deal with themselves. I hate the straw man argument, the other groups do it too argument because they don't give a shit about us. We are the ones that need to give a shit about ourselves. We're the ones that need to learn how to identify the right way. But at the end of the day, them police, a lot of them police, they know why they doing that shit. It's like that movie American Skin. When that police officer he finally freaked out before he knew that he thought he was gonna die. He would say, "How are you gonna catch the bad people if you don't pull the bad people over?" The reason why a lot of y'all are afraid because you've been labeled, and you want to make sure that you don't have that label: criminal, fuck up, thug, hoe. you know, all that shit. Fucked up attitude. Shit. Give them a sense of pride. That's like, a lot. I mean, and it's like a lot of y'all say fuck the kids. Now, when I say kids, I mean your kids personally. I'm not saying that anyone else has to do for your kid. If you are a responsible parent, then your kid should be okay. If you're not a responsible parent, then really you should be penalized for it. I don't care who you are, mother or father. Because, see, I don't know, collecting government assistance and then feeding the baby does not mean that you are actually nurturing the kid properly. That's something separate. You ain't doing everything you could. You got everybody else doing everything they can. Let me tell you something. That shit's very real out there. That's not something that dude's just complaining about. And the fact that we hide it is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. That shit is embarrassing. It's ridiculous, and it's like what is wrong with telling somebody to stop having kids you can't afford? And I get it. They don't want it stuck to being black, but definitely don't if you don't want it stuck if you don't want negative things stuck to being black, you don't do those things while you are a black person. That is the common sense shit that I love to talk about here on Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Why would you want a more common sense world where black people are acting a certain way because there are black people around, not because there are other groups of people around? Why is that so hard to do? And that is what I understand a lot of you are talking about out there. When you do this little police apologist crap that you do. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular, so don't say anybody's name and thinking I'm talking about content creators or anything. I'm talking about the general atmosphere. You'd be surprised at how many black people really feel that way. And I mean, every time someone says something to the effect of, them niggas or whatever, you know, every time somebody says something like that, you know, you gotta wonder, are you afraid that you will be labeled as such too? And I get it. I want our people to act good for our people because we don't do it. We don't. But it ain't about what I want. Is what you want. So I'm not out here. I'm not ever gonna promote save kids of women who had kids they couldn't afford. Like, I'm not gonna say that. Although I would like for those women who've had all those kids to just say, "Hey, fuck it, I gotta step up." That would be the perfect scenario. It's not on some single guy who has everything going for him that wants to at least travel the world or something like that, or mind his own fucking business. It's not on that guy to save that kid. It's not on him unless he wants to. Unless he wants to do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but if the guy wants to do it, let him do it. This is why a lot of you are angry. All of y'all want to be black in a negative way. When the stupid kid from a few years ago said this one line, "Man, I ain't want to tell him, I ain't want to do him like that, but he made the black come out of me." I went ahead and just said that, and the people in the area, they were just giving them pounds and shit and high fives and whatever. Yeah, man, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then my thought process is, So you weren't black the other times we talked, and everybody, see you weren't black. I mean, because your skin tells a different story. And I get the usual response, "Come on, man, come on." Oh, you know who you talking around? You talking around Kev? You always had that nigga. It's always one. But I was telling the stupid kid, I'm like, look, man, it's not like you don't want to attach everything black to everything negative. That could have a bad after effect. And guess what? That was back in 2010, I think. We're now at 2021, and now that we have the freedom of the speech, or freedom to express thoughts until YouTube has some community standard, which I mean, it's YouTube, is their platform, and we have to challenge ourselves. We have to build a big enough platform if we want rules the way we want them. So, I mean, it's marketing and underhanded deals and all of that. So, I mean, if you want to go through that kind of trouble and make the sacrifices, just make sure that you at least got a couple of bodyguards. But I told this young man, you don't want to. This is like I said, this is back in 2010. This is like I spoke like this for a while, and I do admit I can get very direct and to the point, and I won't back down. I don't care who's against, male or female. I don't give a fuck about any of you. I mean, as people, yeah, of course, you have to have a general respect, but it's like feelings. Now, if it's about right and wrong, I'm gonna go with what I believe is right. And if you don't like it, then you have to move me enough to side with you. And it's like I'm usually right most of the time. I would say that. You don't want to catch yourself being ashamed of too much for being black. You know, we've had the black business argument. A lot of people say, well, what, I don't want to go to black business because black business this, black business that. I was like, they're low quality. I was like, they don't. Black businesses, like, if you feel as if they're low quality and you want to attach that stigma to a black business, is because there's not a whole community of black people that's willing to sink their money into those businesses. And I'm not saying that they are any or anyone is entitled to your money. They have to earn it. I get that. But any other group will put a business up in your hood and y'all will go to it. I see it a lot. I've been observing that all my life. Shoot, I've lived in generally black areas. Just because you live in other areas or more higher price areas, I mean, it don't make you anything special unless, of course, you are special. you know, Shoot, but it's like anybody, just anyone with a plan, anyone with any kind of direction can come in your neighborhood and siphon all the money from you. Yet still, you get this poor ass stigma to a black business, and sometimes that black business does it to itself too because of the mentality. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Since we're becoming self-aware right now, since we're becoming aware of and smarter about who we are, like I said, this is not for I will continue to say, this is not for you to go out and save single mother children. When I say children, in my context of speaking, I'm talking about the children that you are responsible for bringing here. So if you are a single man with no kids, what I'm very well saying, you could use your little context of fuck them kids because you didn't bring any of them here. So let's get that out of the way. I'm not gonna ever, and I'm gonna say it again, I'm not gonna ever tell a young single man with no kids that he has to save a single mother. Beware of a man that is like that. I don't care if he's a preacher or a president. Because, see, my answer to that is get the fuck out of here. Why don't you wait till you get married or wait till you find the one, like, Neo and Trinity? That's gonna be my answer to that. That's gonna be my bold answer to that. I know there's a lot of them out there, but hey, you know what? Your kids, the ones that you brought here. If you're one of those guys that has 15 kids, I'm sorry if you have to spend the rest of your life being a part of your children's life. Because if you had like 17, 18 kids by different women, you spread yourself thin like that. Do it. I don't, no, I'm that kind of guy. I'm just saying, it's like if there's an extension of me out there, is they're gonna know who I am. Period. So, with that being said, we have to make sure the children are self-aware as early as possible, so they won't have the same WS programming. I mean, they trying to do it through the. I mean, you got to watch a little. You got to watch a little bit of what they're watching on TV these days. They sneaking that shit in, left and right. So we have 20 people watching. Do I have 20 likes? If not, go ahead and press the like. Press that like button. Um, YouTube channels are favored by algorithms, and my intensive goal is to get as much of an algorithm as possible for this channel right here and for the other habitual line steppers channel. You know, oh, 21 likes, 21 likes, 20 watching. Fasting is life. Orlando's Petway Boy 1Gs. Kareem, what's going on? Saw Toya the Tutor earlier. Just want to let y'all know that all of you guys are awesome and thank you for tuning in. Longo Savage, Man, Cold TV, Josh Johnson, hurry up and buy. What is up, everyone? So happy to see all of you. And happy in the okay kind of, yeah, we're all kind of cool way. So, yeah. Well, do y'all think that black people are too afraid to be black these days? Like, say for in a situation where uh, uh, let me paint this picture for you. All right, we're in kind of a mixed crowd, right? It could be you, could be with a girlfriend, could be with a family member, or whatever. It could be with your kid. When you're mixed crowd, pretty mixed. There was like, let's say this crowd is like half black, and the other half of the crowd is half everyone else, literally everyone else. All it's just picture how you want to picture it. If you want to picture them all being all white, then hey, picture them being all white. In fact, let's make them all white then. I think that'll make it more interesting. Out of the black half, two dudes just start fighting. I mean, insults and everything. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. And the other half is just kind of looking at it, just shaking their head. Oh my God. What would you be thinking? Would you be thinking, niggas, niggas be acting just nigging? Would you be thinking, oh my God, man, we can't go anywhere? How do you expect them to respect us? Because some of you would be thinking that. Here's what you should be thinking. You should be trying to stop the fight. Stop the fight. Talk to your people. Tell them to cool down. Not saying that that's going to happen. And in fact, in a situation like that, it's likely not to happen. Tell you why. Dog and pony show. A lot of us know how to act when we get around them. It's a phenomenon. Seen so many situations like that. So the two dudes that's probably tensed up or whatever, they probably won't do it because all them white folks standing right there. Just likely to happen. I could be wrong. we, but if I could be wrong, so could you too. So we're not perfect. But I'm not afraid to be black because I can't help it. I just go outside and that's what people see. And I understand that there is a perception of that. And is upon me to either care about it or not care about it. I'm gonna go for the I'm gonna go for the I don't give a fuck what other groups think. I give a fuck what our people think, obviously, because that's why I'm talking to you guys. Shit, I'm not over in the pale manosphere trying to see if I can get my weight up and interact with those guys. I'm in the black manosphere. The black manosphere is looked upon very negatively by a lot of black people. It's looked upon like it's a black business. There's always a criticism, and I get it. Some criticism are warranted. Some of that shit just whole shit. Some of that shit just bitch assness. Seriously. Shout out to P Diddy back in the day, coining that term bitch assness. I agree with a lot of P Diddy does, but some. I mean, he's a businessman. He made his money. Some of you would do things the same way. Don't say you wouldn't. For that amount of money, some of you would kill your neighbor's dog with a butter knife. So don't. You can judge all you want. Shoot, but Diddy had a point. There's bitch assness out there. Bitch assness. I will always rail against the brothers who always got something to say about a black man talking and speaking. Because that make me believe that you just got Highlander complex and you just want to separate yourself from the pack like you're just great shit. And maybe you're doing great things. I support any black man doing anything great. And I know black women. I want about the black women. Yeah, I support you. But I acknowledge the existence of bitch assness. being anti being anti black woman is not profitable. I would say it's not profitable. In fact, it's controversial, and you will if you're actually anti black woman. Now, you probably be silenced on more than a few occasions. That's a true. Like, we have to start speaking in blunt context, not loose context. That's what most of us do. We speak in loose context. We got to speak in blunt context. So, say that a YouTuber actually hates black women. He's not gonna last long. That's just a reality. He, as in a black man. Now, white dude probably get away with it because that's just the way it is. Not for long, but I mean, he can get away with it way longer than a black dude. Now, should a person like that be able to speak on the air? My shocking answer is yes. They should be able to say what they want, just like a lot of these old button lip ass divestors. They go on rants and everything, but it is at the end of the day, the responsibility of the people to not choose a person like that. I wouldn't just sit there and listen to a guy that hated black women. Just, I mean, literally. Let's, like I said, blunt context, brutally honest context. Let me coin that term for this channel. You don't have to use it anywhere else. Brutally honest context. That's what it literally fucking is. A black man on a YouTube channel hating black women. Let's face it, a guy like that will not last long on the platform. He will get flagged off the bitch every fucking time he tried to come. You know how these divestors are. You know how these sisterhood, these simp lords, and the simp rooks, whatever level of simp that you want to talk about. They're not gonna allow that. It'll be flagged as hate speech in a heartbeat. So, me disagreeing with you and telling you the truth, and let me tell you something. We're like this across the board. If I disagree with you, that's not me telling you that you can't do something. It's not. It's not me being anti-black to push against what maybe a large number of black people think. It may not be necessarily anti-black. Now, if I went in every conversation, black people are stupid. Doo, doo, doo. If I went in every conversation like that, that is definitely anti-black. Unless black people actually being stupid. Literally. Brutally honest context. We've even stopped taking the truth in numbers. I'll explain that in a second. We got to accept the things that we don't like if they're a fact. We don't have a choice. It's not about being petty. It's not about just because they said this, I'm saying that. I don't want to do that. I don't have to go with the group being stupid. Since most people, most blacks, yeah, the voting base, most of the voting base of blacks voted for Joe Biden. Am I supposed to agree with them voting for Joe Biden just because they voted for Joe? The answer for me is no. And that does not make me anti black. But a lot of black people out here will say that that makes me anti black. I didn't vote for Trump. I just didn't vote for Biden either. But I mean, use your common sense. You can't be black about some things. You can't be black about another. You gotta be black about things 24/7. Period. It's not a choice that you have. Your skin says that you don't have a choice. You can't take a potato peeler and say, hey, you know what? I'll go out here kind of pale skin trying to look white one, and then my black skin will fill back in. It'll heal up. You can't do that. You're not Wolverine. Besides, you'll still be black at the end of all that. So if you were, well, whatever. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice as long as you are rocking in this Western culture. Now you can go to Africa and then you go into all kinds of different black people and then like Africa, you're like, well, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ghana, stuff like that. You know, a continent with countries in it. They can do that. But over here in Western culture, there ain't no such thing as North Carolinian black and California black. Ain't no such thing as Texas black versus Chicago black, something like that. You know, you black, shoot, and that's it. Shouldn't be something that a presidential candidate that got most of the black vote can negate. If you don't have a problem picking between me and Trump, and you ain't black. It's like, oh shit. Like, he gets to decide this. Then people are dancing in the streets. And now what does he do? Every time you see him pinning and signing something for somebody, they ain't black. Hey, you know what? But hey, you know what? Maybe he'll get to us next year. Hey, that's what I thought about Obama. I think maybe he'll get to us next year. So for those of you who voted for him, hang on. He will. He probably will come through. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'm gonna breathe deeply and do the best I can with what I have. Yeah. You don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. And Biden can't make that choice for you. Some of y'all, yeah. Some of y'all think a vote is gonna do it, and I ain't gonna make it all about voting. I mean, if you use your right to vote, hey, more power to you. I'm proud of you. But don't think a vote makes you black. Don't think struggle makes you black. I've like okay, I'm cool and content, and this is a complaint about the manosphere. We're mad at women who didn't want to give us any pussy. And I'm gonna go ahead and admit this. There was a chick at one point. I think I was like 19 years old that preferred my homeboy to me, and I was cool with that. I wasn't angry with her. The reason though was very just it was eye opening. She asked me a question. Would you wear a pair of jeans out of Walmart? This was 1996. And I said no, I would not. Like and my position on that is I work a job, so I get to decide what I can wear. That's where I was at with it. So she said I would. She responded to me after I gave her the answer. She said I wouldn't mess with you anyway because I don't like no nigga that think he too good to do stuff. I was like, I just wouldn't wear a pair of jeans from Walmart. And see, even guys from your hood will make fun of guys for wearing cheap shoes and cheap pants. So how the fuck can you say that? Just say you don't want to fuck with a dude like me because I'm likely to not end up in jail. Shit. I mean, it's don't think this whole state like we make the mistake of thinking that this shit was like a lot of this shit was recent. A lot of these mentalities, have been going on for decades. And let me talk to y'all a little bit about something that happened decades ago. And I've said this before. For you OGs that's been on this channel for a while, I've discussed this before about St. Jude Church being campsite for the Selma to Montgomery March, and because of that, the school's public funding was cut and completely became what would come to be a private school that required tuition from its students. Yeah, yeah, I mean all funding because we were campsite four. The local HBCU in my hometown, and nothing I'm not gonna knock an HBCU because there's a rumor that Biden cut billions of dollars in funding, like 30 billion for HBCUs. There's a rumor. It's a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed by a credible news source. But Alabama State University, and I mean, if you've attended Alabama State University and you're watching, this is no slight to you because likely you didn't go to school back in the day, and there were a lot of students from that university that went elsewhere to help with the movement itself, but They understood if they got caught that there were consequences levied by the university itself. The university was they basically said, they basically said, threatened the powers that be at the time, said that if you allow your campus to be used as a campsite for the marchers, we're going to cut your funding and you will go into the ground. So ASU, Alabama State University, a black university, decided to opt out of helping with the Selma to Montgomery March. Now, this was Bloody Sunday was weeks before. So we have a HBCU, a historically black college and university, opting out, whereas I ain't gonna bullshit about the church that I grew up in. It had white priests and it had black people in attendance. We also had black priests too in the diocese, but not very many. But the white man, Father Harold Purcell, wanted to establish a campus with a church and a elementary and high school that was for black kids. Because in that era, in the 20s and the 30s, you know how bad it was for us. And this same guy welcomed marchers that were black, that looked like you and me, that were in the face of law enforcement that beat them and sick dogs on them, marching peacefully. Uh, yeah, it was just that's one that always puzzled me. But was Alabama State correct for saving their own necks? A lot of people would argue that they were smart, and they needed to be there for black, students to come through. That they came too far and had to go through a lot of struggles to establish that campus, and to have it all taken away would be a lot of hard work down the drain. And for the scrutiny of those times, a lot of my people close to me have tried to convince me that they had no choice and that was the smart thing to do. My view was, and probably still is that a HBCU, a historically black college university, for a moment in time was afraid to be black. What does being black mean? And that was 1965. 63, 65. I think it was 65. See, it's 2021 right now. It's 2021. It's wow. It's the most controversial, the most fucked up things attract us in the name of being black. But then when it comes to things that actually matter and actually tangible, we're afraid. Why is that? So I don't want us to be afraid. I mean, I don't want us to go out stupid, but I don't want us to be afraid. I don't want us to take a stand when it's necessary, and it's become quite necessary as of late because there's a lot of infighting amongst our own people. And believe me, you could go with any doctrine that you want. It's your belief that if it's your belief that you should be able to scrutinize and not get any kind of clapback or scrutiny of your damn self, then that is your belief. But, when you come up against a guy like me, that's not going to be my belief. That's where we're going to butt heads. See, I believe in being black in the smart way, in the common sense way. I don't believe in being black in the, okay, I'm going to hide the fact of how your ratchetness and how your niggatry is embarrassing us. I was supposed to just kind of cape for it and cap for you and whatever bullshit, horrible behavior that you decide to co-sign with in the name of being black. This is what I'm talking about. Co-signing to a co-signing to a behavior and calling it black, like I told the stupid kid back in the day. And I mean, like, I got respect for the guy. I got respect for the guy, but him as stupid kid. Oh, the black gonna come out of me and all this other shit. Think the fuck? Why is it like? Why are we so convinced that acting like a complete jackass is what makes us black? Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's acting like a jackass. Shit, them reality shows, the dudes and the women. I'm not just talking about Real Housewives, but they're included in that too. When they do all that neck popping, yelling and shit, they act like a jackass. I mean, they're doing it for money, granted, but it's still acting like a jackass. But it's acting like a jackass for money. Well, a lot of these folks out here that act like a jackass for free, just cause, just cause, just cause the mood called for it. And then you'll get that occasional person, and there's always one at least it depending on what area you live in or what Walmart you go to. You always gonna have that one person. Don't mess with no nickels like that. A lot of the time that shit be coming from females. You have these old docile dudes out here. Unless of course it's another black man, then it's like y'all be treating it like it's War of the Gods and all the other crap. Just took a sip of water. Yeah. But let me ask you guys a question in the chat. Shaka Nulu, Knowledgeable King Judah, Cam Robb, Indigenous TV. Do y'all like being black? Or whatever your ideal of black is? Or do you just treat it like something like, okay, I ain't got no choice. It's every day. Because I've had people question my blackness and I thought it was ridiculous. And I'm not questioning your blackness. I'm just asking you if you're proud. But let me read this comment from Indigenous TV. Pro blacks hate being black, Kev. All that hot air pro black rhetoric is just a way to combat their insecurities about being black. If they had a choice to be reborn, they choose to be born Caucasian. Yeah. And with any stroke of luck, they could end up in a trailer park. Or, even worse, a back alley by a dumpster. Just saying, everybody has something fucked up about them. And that's not racist. Because if I go in and talk about other groups and their discrepancies, then everybody, oh, you're trying to be racist, stereotype. You stereotype black men every day. You label black men every day. I had to tell somebody on Facebook that the other day. I've told people on Facebook a lot of things. Maybe some people are right. Maybe I do care too much. Shaka Nulu. I'm the original man. Of course I do. Okay, awesome. There we go. That's good. Pride. Yeah, the word pride. I use the word pride a lot, but I don't speak of it in the context of the alphabet people. Just want everyone to understand that when I say pride. But I would tell the occasional guy on social media that you have zero pride as a black man. It's like we as black men, we let a lot of shit slide. And like I said, I stand by this. The females are nasty with us because there have been the majority of black men throughout the years that have allowed the behavior that did not set the standard when we were supposed to. So right now you got a bunch of guys that are in a current clusterfuck, and then you have another bunch of guys telling these guys that, oh, they just mad because they ain't getting no pussy, which is a derivative from the guys that allow all that bullshit to manifest into what we're dealing with today. If you guys are following me, I don't want black folks to look bad, but I will call you out when you're making us look bad. Shit. You need to be called out. We need to call out each other. We need to hold each other accountable. Black man, black woman, yeah, yeah, yeah. We all of that shit. All of it. You hate black women. Okay, I hate black women that way. Holding your ass accountable is hate. Shit, I'ma hate your ass like a motherfucker. Shit. Black men black men get held accountable every day, B. Shoot. And I have no problem holding a black man accountable, but I'm not gonna do it on command. That bullshit is definitely out. I am not gonna hold a black man accountable on command like I'm some kind of attack dog. That's bullshit. Y'all talking about Jada, but what about Will? What about Will? Will Smith remade Just the Two of Us about his first son. Come on. Come on now. It's like just because you call out and make somebody accountable doesn't mean that you gotta directly call out the other gender. Because you know what you do when you do that? You have officially made it about gender, and you have officially perpetuated this gender war. I don't hear no gunshots. I don't hear no gunshots. Fucking war. But yeah, war words, whatever. Shoot. Hey, you know what? If a woman is to blame for something, I'm gonna blame her. Man to blame for something, I'm gonna blame him. Doesn't make me any less black or afraid to be black. Being pro-black doesn't mean that you being pro-black doesn't mean that you have to make an excuse for all the behaviors and straw man to uh, uh another another race. Black man cut off another black man's head with a sword. You know, I'm not gonna make the excuse in the discussion that, well, you know what them samurais used to do back in the day, yo. They used to cut people's head off. That's not just a problem that belonged to us. That's not pro-black at all. That's pro. That's pro. You think I'm stupid? That's what that is. That's pro. You trying to treat me like a dumbass. A black man invented the super soaker. Yes, a black man did invent the super soaker. Black men invented most things. And you know, I know that's going to be a statement on the meme. Avoid this kind of black man. The one that say black man invented most things. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah. We probably invented air too. Man, we got a problem breathing. We need something. Oh, look, air. That black man took that. No, I don't think that's, you know. But yeah, black man did invent the super soaker. That is 100% true. Shoot. Black men and white men, and I'd even say Asian men built America. No doubt about it. This whole black men don't build, man. I get sick of hearing that. I get sick of hearing that. There's a woman sitting at home having an attitude. Why ain't no black man build me no house yet? Cause you don't deserve it. Shut up. Black men don't build anything, but we sure be buying the motherfuckers for you to move in. So you get shut the fuck up. damn, folks aren't logical. We're not logically based people. We're emotionally based people. If we based our black on logic instead of emotion, we'd probably do a lot of better. Shit. If you sitting your ass, let me tell you something. If you sitting your ass under a roof, under your own volition, you've already done better than a lot of people. So you can move on. You can move on to something else. You can work on something else. Black men invented most things that moved this country into the modern era, including the cotton gin, which extended slavery, by the way. You know, damn well no Eli Whitney didn't do. Now, Eli Whitney didn't do that. He just owned the slave that did it. And how dare that motherfucker? Shoot. Tell you something. Most medical advancement in technology came from Africa. Inoculation. Shit. When them people when them first settlers were dropping left and right, they had to come up with something. Let me put that shot. Let me put that uh put that comment up there. Hell, let me even say this. And a lot of people feel a certain way about this particular content creator. But George Macon, he used to do this whole little series on black inventors, just specifically to highlight this kind of thing. Let's read Street Light, Icebox, Filament, Escalators. There's a book called Black People Invented Everything. So let me ask y'all a question. When you hear certain content creators that make fun of black people saying that, or at least black men, because that seems to be a thing right now. Because yeah, I kind of lose my points and then regain them. When I said that black women hating channels aren't profitable, they're not. Black men hating channels, however, are. I mean, just shoot. I can point you in certain directions. I'm not going to promote those channels here. I mean, you know who these guys are. So, but if it's proof of anything, it's proof of what I just said. And don't act like it ain't true because once again, that turns into the whole you really must believe that I'm stupid or you must really believe that I'm an idiot or something, you know. And then that's when things start to get a little fun. So yeah, yeah. So just don't be ashamed of every time you hear something is black or something like that. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of things that made you ashamed of it, you know, or had a really strong shot of making you ashamed of it. You know, like the way it's portrayed in the media as a selling point. Like shows like Blackish and what BET has become. Hold up, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, Camp Low, what's going on? Camp Low is one of my patrons, so yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the super sticker. Thanks for the love, and super chats active. Cash App is also active. Be aware of the message, the scroll ticker at the bottom of the screen. But most importantly, thank you for joining me and press those likes. Oh, uh, let's see. Uh, 36 likes, 0 dislikes. All right. Yeah. Shoot, I didn't. I mean, I haven't like shoot. Like here's the thing with dislikes. I think that dislikes definitely signify something, but if you don't get dislikes, don't be sad because that might just mean that you're just a super cool person. Yeah. So Definitely thanks for that super sticker. Uh, Business TV. Black conservatives downplay black innovation. It drives me crazy because they mock that reality like a lot of white people do. Yeah, black conservatives, divest people, they do it as well. Yeah, black conservatives kind of get on my nerves. I see uh, some of their arguments. I see, but the whole black denial thing, that's definitely something that they do. Is they have this stupid ass sense of fairness. I would say that it is what it is. It's the right thing, because see, when they speak of other groups like that, like they're on some high and mighty bullshit, then it's more or less that I feel like that they're just afraid to face the issues that are difficult because of the color of our skin, and to deny the existence of the problems that come with our color of skin is cowardly. It is extremely cowardly. It really gets on my nerves when they can have a level conversation with a white person that definitely rails against addressing the problems in the black community. They can have a level conversation with them, but they can have an argumentative conversation with another black person. I don't. I do believe that you should have a civil conversation with anyone, but sometimes those guys just they kind of. I kind of like. Yeah. Oh, but on to more positive information. Lee Holly, black physician Charles Drew invented groundbreaking blood plasma storage technique in the late 1930s, allow for storage of plasma for a longer period. You know what though? I should do a broadcast on black inventors. I mean, I don't know about making it a series because that would definitely bite off George Macon, but we should get together. We should talk about it. We should highlight some of the great black inventors. Because to let everyone know that yes, black men did make many life-saving contributions to society. So this whole dumbass black men don't build thing is dumb as shit, and you should curse folks out for that. Damn, Daniel Hale Williams, very important man. I'm not gonna say what he did. Y'all say what he did in the chat. Daniel Hale Williams. Don't ever tell me no motherfucking black men don't fucking build. That's dumbass logic. That's usually said by some woman that let like two or three guys shoot up in them, and now they got kids that look like homeboys. It's like sets of homeboys and shit. Like these like that's what I'm talking about right there. Is like people afraid to be black. Like amongst other things. I didn't really cover the conservative dynamic too much. I know people would probably think that I was leaning more toward the conservative people, but then again, we have to cover all. We have to get a general scope of all of it. I may not have covered all the aspects. See, I almost missed conservative. And I'm not the one that's gonna sit up there and call a conservative a COON. I'm gonna hear them out first. And if their views are kind of COON, then if the shoe fits, wear it. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it must be a COON. That's just how I am with that. That's not the first thing I'm going to say though. If that black conservative is correct and factual in what they say, then you cannot refute it. Point to me the person who has argued successful against a fact. Point that person out. Yeah, Indigenous TV. I'm glad you said this. Embracing our contributions isn't Hotep, LOL, SMH. It's like, damn, so we're just running out of Africa with bones in our noses before the Europeans came along, huh? Yeah, we didn't. They like that. That's what a lot of you guys don't get right. Like, no, I'm not talking about indigenous TV in particular, but for the people that he's talking about, he's referring to. There's a lot of it ain't like they civilized us. We were already civilized. In fact, I believe we kind of civilized them. They're the ones going around talking about they Vikings and shit. Let's fight and cut each other's heads off and shit and do stupid shit to get out and kill and blah 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 and make feces mud mask. Shit. We kind of civilized them. So I don't want to hear that. None of that. I don't want to hear none of that. Shoot. They took a lot from us and then tried to claim credit for it. But you just gotta have the wherewithal to research that kind of thing. And it was really something that was that school that campus that was erected by that white priest. Like when I attended the elementary school, they made it their business to teach things like that to us. Robert Perkins got folks feeling some kind of way. Don't blame me for that man's lack of dick discipline. Yeah, yeah. I mean, don't blame me for Robert Perkins. No, he did that along with those women, including you know who. I don't know, man. Y'all remember that bowling skit? Like they was Chappelle show. Uh, Chappelle show when they did that when he did that. What if and one was in other sports? Because back in the day, and one basketball was pretty popular. It was like a street ball meets Globetrotters, the Harlem Globetrotters. They were doing all kinds of tricks. So Chappelle made a spoof, and he was talking about some what did they did and one in other sports. And one of the skits was bowling. So he was just like I guess the two black guys were there. It's the coldest dude I ever seen in my life bowling. He said, "What do you play defense?" And but defense doesn't exist in bowling. But I guess he was playing defense against the other bowler, and he took the guy's wig, and then he shined his head with it, like dancing and shit. And the reason why I said that is replace him with who, replace the bald guy with the wig with you know who. I was like that. Yeah, that would be a really funny scene. But yeah, she's one of the baby mamas. Like, and then she starts to preach about how black men are dusty, and then you got motherfuckers co-signing, co-signing that bullshit because we too dumb to understand and realize that you can't just go around creating pocket realities and act like that shit's true. I mean, I don't believe if you talk about black men as a group and a collective, yeah, I will push back. If you talking about Robert Perkins not having dick control, uh, that's Robert Perkins. If you try to apply Robert Perkins to black men in general, then I'm gonna push back as well, cause I ain't got nothing to do with whatever the fuck that nigga doing. Give a fuck about his shit, and then that little swipe he made at the manosphere. I mean, it ain't my problem. Yeah, just so fuck that dude, quite frankly. But and she probably listening care because she goes watches all the content in the Black Manosphere, makes response, conf- her and that Jobber goofball. Yeah, I did a poll. Like, yeah. I'm sure a lot of y'all seen that poll where I said, who does the Black Manosphere had to thank? I mean, who does Taz had to thank for his success? Kevin Samuels, the Black Manosphere, or the conscious community? And the Black Manosphere won out. That's what everybody voted. But he has the Black Manosphere to thank. I mean, seriously, you build a channel off stand up the black manosphere's ass. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. So, I kind of agree with that, but, I kind of say it's the other two as well. Yeah, and I don't care. It's like, shoot, as long as I leave these broadcasts public, anybody can click on. All I can say for those ghosts is thanks for the view. Go and hit that dislike button so I can play my little sound bite. Shoot, but wow, it's been over an hour. I mean, it's been over an hour, so let me play a little something for y'all, and I will be back after that. All right, let me see. It's been over an hour, and I have been basically expressing my perspective on why I'm starting to believe that black people are afraid to be black. You know, really, I'm saying this in the context of, I would say, our problem with unity. What it boils down to, our problem with unity, our need for the ratchetness, the fuckery, which doesn't make things better. It actually ends up making things a lot worse. And this blame game. I try not to advocate too much about complaining about the blame game because I'm really that's damage control. That's what that is. The blame game is damage control for a lack of attentiveness to perpetual fucking up. The lack of accountability. Raw L, what's going on? He says it's amazing how people who claim they hate the manosphere wouldn't even be known without it. Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's kind of the truth. I wouldn't say this about the kind of the first generation folks. I would give an example like somebody like a Chrissy who has a general problem with black men, but some more of the newbies like that hate the manosphere and hate your boy and like they really hate most of us just for creating our own narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like, what an insult it is to be upset with black men for creating our own narrative. I'm saying, okay, that's cool with me. Now, here's gonna be a little controversial bit. Okay, if I am to believe that being anti-black is being anti-black man, then it must be that I also believe that being anti-black is being anti-black woman. But at the end of the day, which one should we be discussing? Should we be discussing which one has more of an impact? Which one is should we really hate one and then don't care about the other one? Cause I don't want to be caught up in being that black person that just rail for black men and you know had just the most to say about black women. So just as you have these people who hate the manosphere, and this is what I encourage with black men, that we don't become like the people across the bleachers, in the other bleachers. that we look absolutely intelligent and that we look our absolute best when we are delivering these messages. That's why although I do blatantly use profanity on this channel, I do not want a ratchet environment full of niggardry. I don't. I believe that it. Let me just put it like this. Say under the bleachers. You don't want to be like the people under the bleachers. Oh shit. Uh, oh god. Oh god. Yeah. So yeah, it's been about an hour and a half. Hmm. Let me see. Check to see. Maybe do something on the black dimension tonight. Oh man. Damn. I must have cursed a little bit too much. They turned my dollar sign yellow. And I did plenty of cursing last night, but they kept that dollar sign green. I mean, for y'all know about yelling the green dollar sign as far as YouTube terminology, that's monetization stuff. So, wow, still no dislike. Yeah. Right, I asked my ex during this time if niggas ain't shit, why y'all get so upset when we get non-black women, especially white? She said, "Yeah, because I mean, if you're pro-black, you would be happy that the ain't shit niggas going to sabotage the other side." Why do they get upset? Yeah, I get that. It should be a relief to them if we ain't shit. Yeah, because they have convinced themselves it's because they want us to improve. Or, no, that's not the context of the question that you're asking. You say if niggas ain't shit, then why I get so mad? Because in reality, they want us to be available for them at any given moment. That would be why that they get so angry. You know, any of the black men who are with white women, they feel as if those guys aren't available for them to just, I guess, push around and castigate and, you know, I don't know, book a fight for. Um, Also, access to the man's wealth. Like that's why they get a lot. That's why they get mad with these celebrity men that end up with white women because they feel as if for some reason that it's wrong for him to leave his wealth to his children. you know, there's like, oh, that wealth ain't going in the black community. It's not coming back to the community. Like, let me ask y'all a question. Every rich black man who's married to a black woman, I mean, do y'all believe that that money stays in our community? And if it stayed in our community, how did it go into helping the community? Like, we're not worried about that shit for real. We're not worried about the community receiving help. Yeah, let me put that comment up there. I don't know if I've answered this question correctly, but is access to wealth and also ego being a preferred choice? In your eyes, since you're a black man, you're supposed to believe that the black woman is number one. It's okay if you believe they're not. It's okay. I'm not supporting that view because to me, black women are number one. But you just like blunt context. Let's use blunt context again, because many of you may not agree. Many of you are like, many of you are like, well, I'm getting away from sisters altogether. And I'm not gonna dick police you. I just so happen to think a black woman at the most beautiful is the top woman on the planet. And that most beautiful, blunt context, looks and attitude, femininity, the right way. They get mad all they want. Is black men dating white women isn't an indictment of black men. If they want to put it in the context they want to put it in, it's not an indictment of black men. It's an indictment of black women. If you got your men going over to another race of women and feeling like they have to go to another race of women, why not ask that brother why? And then not being, and then not turning around and gaslighting them and using that excuse that he said he can't handle no sister. Why should we have to handle you? You're not a fucking animal. Shit, you need a handler. Shit, the oppressed. I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, I'm getting tired. Getting tired of talking at y'all. I mean, not really talking at you, but yeah. Prepper 101. What's going on? Um, Indigenous TV, the black community reminds me of that movie Pleasantville. Like how they were asking what was beyond Pleasantville. There was no color, no words in any of the books. Mm, yeah. Uh, Kev, read for the audience my full comments so for my ex, so they can hear the hypocrisy. Uh, uh, it's like we don't want y'all, but we don't want y'all to go anywhere else being happy. She admitted she didn't like seeing black men, either with a black woman or non-black. Nah, wow, wow. For one with that mentality and that character, ugh, mm. I guess that's why she asks. They don't. I mean, yeah, they'll rather have you get tortured by 20 sisters than they end up with one white woman that makes you happy. That's why that's why they'll call you a lame and say they won't fuck you, but then call you a coon and a sellout when you go and be happy with another race of woman. So that is absolutely correct. It's just that is here's the thing. And this is gonna be a little challenging, a little difficult. Is incumbent upon the other sisters to check this shit from sisters because shit they don't want to seem to listen to us, but then again they don't want to listen to other sisters either. They'll start calling them pick me's. Here's what's gonna happen at the end of the day. Common sense is going to have to prevail. like 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 they need to start like inducing, like find a way to induce common, like like they like with this vaccine thing, just say, hey, you know what, we got some common sense in this vaccine. Shit. Then I used to start promoting the vaccine. Hey, you know what, they actually they have a chemical induction of common sense. Like some of us is like, man, I'm not telling people. You believe what you want about the vaccine. I'm not trying to tell you to vax that thing up or anything like that. And I know there's quite a bit of a conflict that's going on between the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers. Have I had the vaccine yet? No, but I'm not gonna tell. And I mean, I'm not gonna judge you if you got it. Sometimes jobs require you to be vaccinated, and I can't pay your bills. So, but anyway, all right, everyone. All right, everyone. Let's listen up. Just don't be afraid to be black because you ain't got no motherfucking choice. Period. It's um it's important because it just is. It is important because it just is. And if you work on yourself and make sure that you set a standard for a good standard for being just around our people, then we'll be okay. If we embrace the bullshit will perpetuate and become out of control and be what and become worse than what we're seeing today. So it's on us to be forward thinking and forward thinking and smart about this. One thing that I do appreciate about the space is there are forward thinking brothers that are trying to get brothers involved in, stock, trying to get brothers involved in travel, even though, and this is what I hate about these little double standard narratives right here. You know, they talking about brothers travel because they want to go get some pussy, but sisters travel because they want to be all like, they just want to go on trips and want to experience and enjoy their lives. Black women are the most educated. Black men are lames for being educated. See, bullshit. But there's men over here that can break down the psychology of things. Then there's guys like me who is a habitually steps over the line. There's many things that this space has to offer, but I would say that most of the guys in this space want want what's better for blacks at the end of the day, and that's all of us: black men, black women, black children. I do. If that's not your choice, I do understand. Life has dealt a lot of us bad hands. I'm not trying to gaslight or anything like that, but I understand that we are a product of our experiences. We get tired of seeing we get tired of seeing things such as young black men killing each other. You know, I get tired of seeing that, but I understand that it is an after effect. Young girls having kids by different dudes, and that mentality only it only serves to keep the school to prison pipeline going, even if there's any school that's even involved. There's nothing wrong with us holding a standard for ourselves as black people. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I highly recommend it. But at the end of all this, it starts with you. Starts with you as an individual. The ripple effect of your decisions and how it impacts everyone around you, and then how it impacts everyone around them as well. So you can be the problem or you can be the solution. But one of the most cowardly things you can do is be afraid to be black. And I'll leave you at that. Listen up, guys. If it's your first time here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that like button on your way out. And let me see. I get tired of the same old black movies. Yeah. I can co-sign with that. Like a lot of the black movies is about, I don't know, they're either black dating or a struggle narrative. You know, some of us want to see some black people slay some dragons. We want to slay some dragons sometime. That's all we saying. but I get it. But anyway, now that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for tonight. We're gonna wrap it up right here. Um, there it is. So just don't be afraid to be black. That's it for now. Long live the habitual line steppers. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for you guys' support as always. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night where I come up with another decent show. But thank y'all for y'all support as always. And Kev, we trust. Goodbye.